Hello, everyone. This is your host, Keith. We're doing a States of the Union Society tutorial here to help people out and understand which way to go and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over to the American National Union Society, or the American National Union /Society. I'm going to share screens with you. Okay. And wait for that to show up for you. And there we go. All right. So what we're going to do here is on this particular website, it's just the States of the Union Society. The link is americannationalunion.com/society. Here we can have members, groups, groups in different cities and towns and all that want to group up and collaborate between each other. Now, what's required is to do this legally. We have to, in other words, if you're going to form a society, you have to have a social compact agreement. So whether you like that or not, that's just the way it is. It's the only way to legally do something, and by law, by the law of nations. So here's the social compact that you can read. It has the States of the Union Society member, or States of the Union Society section for it, instead of American national or resident. And here's the Constitution. It's been signed by the ANU Great Council for right now. They're just holding on to the Constitution while this grows. And you have your Declaration of Rights right here. You can read all this stuff. Right here is the citizen registration form. Click here. You'll see the form. Okay, now once that's done, you'll say, well, what do we do now? First of all, you can collaborate with each other. People will, if you have a group in your area, you can actually name the group in your county and your state, and people can go and join it if they'd like. Now, what we need to do, though, is help people understand how our money system works, because that's the main problem that people are having. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Continental Public Bank, and I'm going to give you a tutorial on how this works. Okay, the very first thing you need to do is open an account. Okay, so I don't know if that switched, so I'm going to go ahead and this is after you sign up for the society. We get and be patient, folks. We don't like spam and spam entries. We'll get, if we leave it open to where it doesn't have to be admin activated, we'll have 40,000 people in there, and they're all just fake accounts and stuff. So just realize it takes about, within 24 hours, we'll get your account approved. All right, so you can start using it, and that's on the American National Society page. Okay, American National Union. All right, open an account. This is there's no need to fill out this form 2 or 3 times. We tell people this. An account is created for you within 24 to 48 hours. So you're going to get this account created for you. Now, the reason why we do that is, once again, spam. We don't want a bunch of fake accounts on the bank account or the bank website. So it takes a lot of time when we do that. We'll come back, and sometimes somebody will get a hold of it, and they just won't let it go. And it'll be about 20 to 30 accounts an hour coming through. And you got to go in, you got to go down and figure out which one's real and which one's not. So we just create it for you. Okay, so that's the new member registration form here. And you have to sign it there and agree to the terms and all that. Okay, now, once that's done, you open up the account. You can go and log in right here. There's the login page. And I don't expect this one, it's going to look a little different because this is an admin account. I'm not going to give up anything as to what's behind it and all that, but people are going to be sitting there, and all of a sudden they've got $50 in their labor-backed currency account. and that's this right here. Transfer labor-backed Continental dollars to other users. You have my balance. Okay, this is the money that's available. This is in the admin account. This is not my money or anybody else's money. This is the country's money, and the United States of America's money. This is what that's not the toll that the Rothschilds owe you. Okay, all your stuff's been stolen. So what we're doing is we've claimed it back, and this is what you guys are, what people here are entitled to. So we have the crypto price ticker here for a reason. I'll show you that in a little bit later. However, this is about the easiest thing in the world. If you want to transfer money to anyone, you just need their username. Oops, let me pull that back. And I'll just send it to Treasurer right now. This is the easiest thing in the world. You can send them 100, or 1. I'll just do this is what I'll do, a test here. Hold on. I'll just do a test right here. As Treasurer 1, transfer. That's done. You can do this online with your phone. If you don't have any internet, you can hotspot it. Go to a hotspot. It restarts for you. Once this is done, and it's been right here, see? That's one labor-backed dollar. This is the same as a USD dollar. Okay, and Juan Ceniceros is the treasurer. And that's it. That's easy. You can send money to anybody you want from anywhere in the world as long as you have a internet connection. If you are in Canada, we're probably going to be opening that up here in a little while. We were getting hit with a bunch of DDoS attacks, so we closed off a lot of the countries. But see, a lot of the countries haven't, and it stopped the DDoS attacks. A lot of the countries haven't been really demanding Continental dollar, so we just kept it here. However, if you use a VPS, virtual private server address, you can get around the blockage and go ahead and use the bank. That's that. Now, people always ask, well, how do I get Continental dollars? Okay, so how to fund my account? It's right here. You go here, how to fund my account, click here. This is a document that downloads. All right, and if you really think about what you're getting ready to hear, you're going to realize how easy this is, okay? Here's the Economic Recovery Plan. All right, Economic Recovery Plan. This is written by the Committee of the National Assembly for the Government of the United States of America. This is how everybody, okay, keep in mind that the money we have is debt-free, interest-free. In other words, you don't owe it back. You can open up a credit account, and you can work with it. That way you can grab that money, go invest in a job, get that job completed, get paid, pay it all back. You got your money, the whole thing. It's not that hard to deal with. Same thing as everything else. However, here's the real cool part. Written by the committee. All right, now, right now, there can be no recovery as long as the medium of exchange is privately issued. So if it's privately issued by the Federal Reserve, you can't have any recovery. There's no such thing. Right now, the Federal Reserve note is privately issued, and the Federal Reserve Bank privately owned by international bankers. In other words, it's owned by the Rothschilds. No country can trade among each other, unless an international bank or broker extends credit to that country to buy products from another country. You get that? So if we want to buy from France, for some reason we have to call the freaking banks, and you get an international broker, and you got to deal with this guy. There's always a middleman. It's a real pain in the butt. Now, the last country that issued its own money without the international bankers was Germany before the Second World War. Even though it was socialists that did it, the premise of the country issuing its own money was a republic form of government concept, not a socialist concept. They just hijacked the idea to try to push socialism. All right, no interest, no debt, no taxes. The reason why the international bankers detest countries issuing their own money is because there are no taxes and no interest and no debt to fill their pockets. So basically, they're sitting around doing nothing. And what you're doing is you're giving the Rothschild banker system, you're giving them the country's currency and they're loaning it back to you at interest. Sounds kind of stupid, right? This condition reveals to the world that there can be a better life for everyone instead of perpetual wars and death created by international bankers. Two people, this is how it works, all right? Listen carefully. Two people assemble. One needs his house painted, the other paints houses. It's real simple that way. The contract is written with the subject matter and details of the work to be performed and how much the contractor charges for his services to the in the national money of the country wherein they reside. So in this case, it will be Continental dollars. LB, labor backed, so Continental dollars, which we have a cash version and we have a online version. We want to stay with the cash because if anybody's like me, I like having cash. I like my own money with me, okay? I don't like my money being controlled by somebody else. Just don't really like banks that way. All right, now, once the work is complete, the one receiving the service, listen, signs a treasury voucher certificate. The one that completed the work can now spend the treasury voucher certificate, or he can liquidate the treasury voucher certificate into the national money issued by the Office of the Treasury of that country. This is how it works. A guy wants to, he needs to get his house painted, but the neighborhood sucks. It's economically, it's really well, let's put it this way. The bankers can't figure out a way to make any money out of that neighborhood, or they can't figure out a way to rip enough people off out of that neighborhood. So they just pretty much leave that neighborhood in squalor. And then it goes down and crime goes up and all this stuff. So everybody has seen this scenario. So what you do is you do this. The guy who owns the house, okay, you run a contract with him and say, you need your house painted, right? Yes, sir, I do. All right. No problem. You write a contract up, includes the paint and all the labor. And he goes, okay. And you got the colors and everything. Okay, so the contractor writes the contract up, gets all the supplies, gets the house done. Everything's cool. This guy's starting to feel a little better about himself. He's starting to feel a little bit better about his family, a little bit better about his situation. Things are starting to look up a little bit. Just got his house painted, and man, that's something to be proud of. It really is. And if you same thing with the roof getting done and all that kind of stuff. So all this guy has to do, the guy that owns the house, that just received the work, he provided the need. The other guy provided the labor. He provided the need. He's worth something too, because he's provided the need. He signs a voucher saying that the job was done. Now, the guy who did the work can use that treasury voucher and trade it for something. He can go to the grocery store, buy food with it if he wants. If you have everybody in that county and everybody around that understands how this system works. Or he can send it to, and I'll show you here in just a minute, he'll send it to an email and we'll put that amount in his account. And you saw how easy it was to transfer money to somebody else's account. That's it, folks. You have no more slums. It's all done. Remember, there's no taxes, property taxes. We're not a communist government. We don't, and then you go, well, how are we going to pay for services and things like that? In other words, how are we going to support the government? Guess what? Think about it for a minute. The people that work for the government, they have their own vouchers. It's a work. You had the need, they had the work. They sign their own vouchers and they can spend their money. Now all of a sudden you have a government that's producing money that many people can use instead of draining an economy by getting bigger, bigger, and bigger, where the the weight of that government gets very large and people can't support it anymore. I mean, seriously, folks, you've got over, I don't know how many millions of federal, state employees and stuff. You have over 3,000 governments, over 3,000 little companies, I call them, because that's what essentially what they are. But if you think about all the counties and everything and all these little local gendarmes and crap, and man, they just suck a lot of life out of everybody. Over 3,000. Don't you think there's a little bit too much there? That's a little bit over, a little bit of an overreach. But the Rothschilds figured out that the more little local government crap that they can put in, the more money, services, and stuff that they get. That's how it operates. And they do it through the United Nations. And we've gone through this with the T-ROH show on how they do it. Okay? So think about that for a minute, all right? You got a guy that's sitting in a wheelchair and he needs help to be taken care of and stuff like that. He just signs a voucher. That guy's gold now. Okay, you have mentally challenged people that need help. You have sometimes the blind need to go to schools and stuff like that to learn how to do what they're doing. Sometimes they need help. Sometimes the deaf need help. Just depends. Sometimes a lot of people, that you just never know. Somebody's had a stroke. They need help. Okay, and if you're helping them, they become gold, man. They become worth something to you instead of a throwaway, instead of throwing them away or them becoming a drain or a pain in the ass. Okay, so you have to realize that. That's how that system works. So what do you, were you waiting for a catch? This is keep on waiting because there is no catch. With this system, the elderly, the handicapped, and those in need become gold because where there is a need, there is work. That's how this works. Okay? Has it been tested? Yes, the system has been tested and proven to work. People keep trying to go back to the gold standard, wherein the international bankers own all the gold and silver in the world. So for those claiming they want gold and silver instead of labor-backed currency, they're attempting to enslave the country once again with interest, taxes, and debt. Yes, start trading with other countries by using barter products for products instead of using the international bankers credit system. International barter bypasses the international banker system. Everything is already in place and you can start here. This is the Continental Public Bank. Okay, now I'll show you a voucher system. I'll go ahead and do this, or voucher document, and I'll show you where you can get it. Let's try it again here. Okay, notice if anyone is filling out the Treasury voucher certificate to be redeemed by the Office of the Treasury if the government is found to be committing fraud by creating a contract out of nothing where no work was performed will result in never being able to redeem another Treasury voucher certificate again in their lifetime. So keep in mind, just do the work. It's easier. You can click here for suggested wages, and it'll open up. You email this to the Treasury at generalpostoffice.org to transfer amount into bank account. We do this every day, folks. There are people already using this. You want the contractor name. That's you, the one who did the work. Bank account email. That's the Continental Public Bank account email. We need to know that we got to find your account to be able to put the money in it. Country could be the United States of America, which I would suggest you do that. NAT code. This can be a NAT code, zip code. If you don't have it, just don't worry about it too much. We just really need the name and the account email. Work voluntary performed herein and described. So you describe what you did. Value of the contract in Continental dollars, 1 USD equals 1 Continental dollar exchange rate. So this is how much the value was. So if you did something for somebody and it was worth 150 bucks, that's what you put there. Okay? It could be 5,000. Just depends on what you're doing. And we're going to know, if you're messing around, you cut somebody's lawn for $5,000 and then you try to come back and say, oh, well, you can't impair the obligation of contracts. Yeah, that's not going to fly. This is based on honest people. Okay, we're not playing around here. We take it very seriously. So would the contractor like to liquidate the voucher in place by placing the amount of the above in the contractor's account? You can put yes or no. Normally, if you send it to us, it's yes. Okay, now you type in your name here. That's the contractor. This is the name of the customer that you had and the customer's phone number. Now, we randomly call those people to ask if the work was completed. If we have people in the area and it was a house painting job or something like that, we may have somebody drive by to see if the work was actually completed. That's what the police could be doing under this system, because under this system, all the police really have to do is sign a voucher and they got their money. They're not draining the tax money base or the tax base. They're not borrowing credit from a private bank, borrowing your own money from a private bank, and they're lending it back to you at interest. Okay, that's BS. So keep in mind, much better system, and it is an actual economic recovery system. Okay, I'm going to show you where you how you get these the Treasury voucher system. All right, this is our Department of Transportation website. It's the United States of America 1781.com/DOT, Department of Transportation. We have a lot of forms on here, but one is the Treasury Voucher Certificate. All you got to do is come here, click here, this section right here. You can do the suggested wages here, and it'll download that document. That's it. You can also get it from the bank itself. Okay, which is right next to, oh, wait a minute, I did change that a little bit. Hold on one second. There it is. All right. There were some links on there that didn't really make any sense at this time. All right, there's a voucher certificate, and this is how to fund my account. So here's your voucher right here. You just click that. You can open up in another tab, and it comes to this page here. Okay? So that's all available to you. Now we have two different types of systems. That's one where you can work and get your money. And then people will say, well, can we do this for our jobs? Yes. We have to have a couple of things open, like there's some essentials that we need that we don't have yet that we're still working on, which is fuel, of which the society can work with fuel. We have a system pretty much set up to use hydrogen, and or you can use you can distill alcohol. Okay, and that can be burnt in automobiles. And distillers are used all the time. Everybody can get a distiller and start making their own fuel. It's tradable in the society. Okay, so the States of the Union Society. We can start there if we'd like to do that. Later on, the fuel companies are going to start feeling the pinch, so they're going to say, hey, can you guys start doing this? All right, we'll contract and you start using Continental dollars like you're supposed to. Yes, we can do that. Okay, that's one. Then we have food, which are essentials. And we can start working with some farmers. We can even work with the Amish to start opening this up, start using Continental dollars. We can use cash with the Amish, obviously. And electricity, water, the essentials. So the country is supposed to use the Continental dollar. I'll explain that to you here in just a second. It's supposed to be used, literally. Okay, so here we go. This is they were actually, it says, addresses the claim by accepting U.S. currency only by courts. Well, we know that these courts are all under Rothschild, so they're only going to use the Rothschild money, and we've been exposing that for a while, messing with them. They're not supposed to do that. It says here, you can read this. All you got to do is just accepting U.S. currency, and you can find it on reignoftheheavens.com. And if you want to, there's a question mark up here with a P equals 3312, takes you right to it. Okay. Okay, here's what they say in the uh, House Joint Resolution 192, which is still in full force and effect. It says every provision contained in or made with respect to any obligation which purports to give the obligee a right to require payment in gold or a particular kind of coin or currency, right here, or a particular kind of coin or currency, or in an amount in money of the United States measured thereby, is declared to be against public policy. So you can't declare, you can't claim, oh, well, we want U.S. currency only. It's against public policy. You crazy courts, you little judges. Okay, so and no such provision shall be contained in or made with respect to any obligation hereinafter occurred. Okay, folks, you don't have to use that stupid money. And here's our new designs right here. And we've heard some people, they'll come back and these symbols offend them. Okay, this symbol right here, this was um, this was the tail of a fish right here, and then this was a menorah from Moses' time, and they get all offended over it. And it creates the Star of David in there. This is the fish right here. This was the symbol that was on James's church. It was the brother of Yahushua, Jesus, the first church in Jerusalem. It wasn't a Christian church. It was a church of the followers of the way, the truth, and the life. Now, if this offends you, okay, and you try to make this out of some devil crap, which is what I heard a couple of people do, if that offends you, how do you feel about the Illuminati pyramid on the back of the dollar bill there? You're using devil worshiping money. This was the symbol that was used in the first church, by the way. James, Yahushua's brother. And there's no doubt that Yahushua, Jesus, was a good man, a very devout believer and everything else. So I don't understand why they would be offended over that, but I don't care. You go ahead and keep using your devil worshiping pennies, all right? And this is what we did, okay? And we just put that symbol on there to make a distinction between um, ours and the Rothschilds, devil worshippers, the well-known devil worshippers. This is our cash. And yeah, you can get some of this if you want. You got to earn it, but you can get it. This is the original seal right here of the 1781 uh, uh, Treasury of North America. We've got that seal. And we got up to a 500 and a 1,000. Okay, so that's our cash. And if you're worried about coronavirus, just put it through a black light or something, or an ultraviolet light. You'd be fine. So I don't get, why somebody was saying that, but I don't care. I think they're just using it as an excuse not to do anything or help anybody or help themselves, whatever. But that's the money we use, and we've been using it for a while. And the Continent's been out for, I don't know, 2-3 years. The Continental Public Bank handles this kind of money. And this is backed by the metes and bounds and seaward boundaries, basically the whole country of the United States of America, which is the whole country you're looking at. All right, so there is that part. And there's another part of this that we'll go over, which is this is the crypto side. Okay, the way to get crypto, you can do a couple of different ways. We have, you can go over to generalpostexchange.org, open up an account, and every time you log in, you get certain points. And we're not going to pay a lot, I mean, every 100 points is $1, all right? So 100 points equals one UCD token exchange request is made here. So you can do the UCD form. Now here's the legend. It says points for registration is 100. Points for daily visits is 25. Points for logins is 25, so you get 50 there. Referring visitors is 10, and referring signups is 50. Okay, so you can do that if you want, or you can go just as easy just to work for it. So if we can't get, here's the deal. Now this right here, you can go ahead and once you get 1,000 points or you get 500 points or something, which is $5, you can exchange those points in Continental dollars, and we'll transfer it over to the bank, your bank account. So if you end up getting 500 points, you can transfer that to your bank account. Now this is what happens. Once you get to the bank account, it gets a little different. Okay, so once you get over here at the bank, you can literally, once you're over at the exchange, you got like 500 points, you want $5, so you do $5, right? Or you go out and do a voucher certificate, and you can fund your account that way and labor back. It's 5 points equals or 500 points equals 5 labor back. This is just a different system, is all it is, for those guys that like uh, crypto. It's just a token, that's all we have available. This is the UCD exchange order form. So if you want to transfer your Continental dollars, labor back Continental dollars to the token, you can. It's on the the token's on the world exchange. I'll show you how that works here in just a minute. You just fill this out, and then we'll transfer the token to your the world exchange account. Okay, so easier. It's easy to do for us to do this. I'm going to go ahead and share this screen, and this you have to go. Okay, when you get over to the world exchange, I've got the thing open. I don't know if it's going to be still keep open. It closes after a while. This is the worldexchange.net. Okay, and we have the UCD token on this platform. It's backed by the Continental Public Bank right here. And you have to open up your own wallet in order to get this done. So you have to read the instructions once you get onto the site, and this is all the instructions right here. It tells you everything that you can do. And you have to open up a wallet here. So you have to click BitHump right here. You just go down and funding your account. When you do that, another window opens up for BitHump. Make sure that you got this. You can see this. And you'll put your XRP address here, okay? And then you activate it. Enter your XRP address. You start by entering that. You activate it here. This goes over to, I think it's PayPal. It takes a couple of days to get done, that kind of thing. Or you have somebody else just send you XRP. If they have buy it on another exchange, they can just send you XRP. You can buy theirs. So you have to have at least 25 XRP to get any of this done. Once you get this accomplished right here, and you have at least 25 XRP, then we can send you a token. Okay, we get a lot of requests for this, but people don't have their account activated. They don't have their tokens set. So what you have to do is once we send this, okay, you have to make sure they set their receivable tokens list. Okay, and they have to use the issuer's account number to do that. So the receivable tokens list, every token is issued created by the individual company, blah, 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 sending and receiving. And you do the OK thing. This is send UCD. They have to open up their receivable tokens list, and you'll see a place where you can put the UCD, and then you'll see a place where you put the issuer's account in there. And once you do, we just put your wallet your wallet address right there. We put in a quantity from the bank that you want. If you want like 100 UCD coins, because one labor-backed Continental dollar equals one UCD coin. Okay, and what you do with it after that is up to you. We've been able to buy XRP with UCD. We've been able to do that. The exchange rate is pretty terrible right now, but we need more and more people to use the UCD so the system starts bringing the value up. So the more people that use the token, the better off you are. And we transferred, right now, we've transferred 197,728 UCD to other accounts. And then you have the set receivable tokens. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm sorry. That's where the symbol goes. You put the UCD there. And then you put the issuer address, which is our address. You can email us and let me, and we'll send this to you if you don't know what it is. In the limit right there, just put 5 million, just however many UCD tokens you'll accept. Just put 5 million, you're covered. It's no big deal. It doesn't cost you anymore. And you can read there, and then you can add a new row if you want to use other tokens. So it's pretty cool the way the whole system is set up, and it's done in a way that you don't have to have a banker coming in and printing your money for you. Okay, the people create the money. That's the difference. The people create the exchange, the value, the energy, and all that. The people are doing it, and this is people driven. If it wasn't for the people, no money. So you don't have somebody saying, okay, we're not going to fund you if you don't do this. If you don't accept communism and socialism, we're going to starve you out, which is what the governors are doing right now. You have to wear a mask to get into this store. Okay, this is what we'll do. We'll start using the Continental dollar currency in our own society. And if your store wants to use our money, that's fine. If not, we'll just starve it out. And we'll produce our own products and have our own stores. Thank you very much. We're just not going to support you anymore. Because what they're saying is they're saying, if you don't accept our socialism and communism and our totalitarian control, we're not going to let you eat. And that's what they're saying. You have to wear a mask when you come into this store. Otherwise, you have to have all of our credentials that we give you so that we can identify you on the internet, and you can use the internet to do this, but you have to give us all your information. You have to have your SSN, you have to have picture ID that we gave you, you have to have all these things to see if you're a comrade. And people ask me, says, why don't you just get a driver's license, man? I mean, what's the point? The point is that's a political document. That's a communist document. If I let the state regulate my private property, if I say that's okay, I just said I was a communist. See what I mean? And by the way, the society does issue its own ID cards. Okay, we do issue our own ID cards as part of this deal as a society member. It's the only ID card you're going to need. And we're going to be issuing passport cards throughout the 50 states. So you can go from state to state because they're supposed to be independent states, and that'll be your passport card from one state to another. So it's not going to be big and bulky and all that kind of crap. We're trying to steer away from the passport because the booklet is bigger, and they don't stamp it anyways when you use it. So we'll just get we just tuned it into a passport card and a society ID card. And this is about getting out from underneath these devil worshiping people, getting away from these guys, because these guys are just horrible people. They're killing babies. They're killing everybody's babies. They're doing all kinds of stuff that's horrible for everyone. It's not fun to have them around. And we just need to get back to good, wholesome living. I think everybody really wants to do that. And they want to clean it up. They just don't know how. This is how you do it. So the very first step is go to that society page. And if you go to AmericanNationalUnion.com, the society page is there. Also, you can click that. There's a link to it. And you can get started by changing your life. It's just a matter of, getting moving. If you want to start a business here, that's fine. Within the society, you can do that. We'll show you how to do that. It doesn't take very long. We don't have a lot of red tape, a lot of bureaucracy crap. It's a matter of getting it published and getting you on the road. We want to get this done just as quick, and we're just as sick and tired of all this bureaucracy as everybody else. So just wanted to let y'all know, folks, this is the end of the video. You can ask questions in the comments. Let us know if there's something that we did not answer, and we'll go ahead and make another video on it. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.